And we're going to roll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl, Bree Stories.
It's AyeTati.
And it's MJM Kid.
Yes, it is. You know it is. Shout out to Be Easy in the back.
Yo,
We are here for another episode produced and brought to you by AyeTati herself. We're very excited. But first, let's do a little bit of, what was I calling them? Church announcements, I guess. Please make sure that you follow us on the Tick and the Talk. The TikTok is where it don't stop.
It really don't stop. That's a really perfect
It's so
way to
cute and
explain
fun.
it.
As a girl who really, really loves TikTok, like I really, really love TikTok, it is a joy seeing us, the Away with Words, the podcast platform on there, and all the little clips and snips and gems. So make sure that you follow us there. And if you're not, follow us everywhere else as well, please. Instagram. And you can hit us up at askawaywithwords@gmail.com. If you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, sponsorships, dates, hit us up. Also, go to the Bree Stories Patreon. That's patreon.com/Bree Stories, where you can get things like podcast extras, some of my poetry, and my weekly video diaries, where I tell way more of my business than I probably should, probably way more than my therapist would suggest. So do that for... I think it's like $7, something like that. And Your Morning Message, your weekday dose of perspective and intention, my daily podcast that you can find everywhere that you find this podcast as well. And YayMash.com. Make sure that you subscribe. We send out an email every week with a new written piece. Okay, I think that's it.
Perfect.
We breaking ice.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we breaking ice. So I had just recently saw this post on Instagram that had said, like, what new star would you want to see in a remake of Bring It On?
I hated
and
that
I
question.
immediately was like, no one. Let's not try. First of all, y'all already attempted to remake that movie.
Yeah,
how many
done
times?
that movie already
And it's
Thousand.
never worked. It's never been good. So it's
Shout
enough
out to
of that.
Hayden Panettiere, though.
But
Yes.
Bring It On is definitely one of my favorite movies.
It is.
And it made me think of the ending when the Toros and the East Compton Clovers have their final little battle at the end. And we all know that on screen, the East Compton Clovers won. But do we agree?
Oh.
Individually, reach an
I love
answer.
this question.
Who do we think truly won that competition
Yeah.
at the end, the final one?
Yeah, I think that we've talked about this before, and the Toros definitely ate, because also they were doing stuff, and we used to cheer.
Yeah.
So coming from that space too, and just knowing where they started from, as far as like getting inspiration and the things that they were doing for choreography, they fucking ate. They ate down. So I mean, it is what it is. I feel very anti-black right now. But no, I think the Toros ate.
Absolutely.
They
They
ate.
killed their ass. They should have got first place. Because we saw the changes they were making. They were embarrassed because they had that damn same choreography in the semifinals or whatever competition. And we just saw them incorporating so much different kind of dance.
Yes,
and
they
they
cut
were
them to
on
just-
point.
Yes.
They were on point. Their
They went
music was
crazy.
top tier. Like the
Yeah.
music, I listen to that by itself all the time. Like their
Really?
cheer music, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, just what I need.
Just what I need.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I love that we're all aligned and we're all in agreement. Because
You gotta
the
be fair. You
Toros-
have to be fair.
Yes, the Toros definitely
be
won.
fair.
They
They
definitely
ate.
won.
They ate.
The Clovers, they was lit. They was crunk. It was a great time. They
Yeah.
did a great job.
But they did good for like a normal cheer routine.
Yeah.
Toros jumped out of the box a little bit.
They did. That's what
With
they made it stand out.
I mean, but I still feel like their routine was still top tier. It's just
For
that
sure.
the Toros was just better.
Totally
But no, the Toros definitely should have won. They definitely had way more going on. It was way more intricate.
Yes.
Way more. It took way more work to even learn that routine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To teach because they had to learn stuff that your body doesn't naturally do.
Yep.
Right.
I could go into a Clover's practice and after a week or two, I would probably be able to catch on. But if I had
Yes.
walked into Toros and it was like, so first we start with a little bit of swing dance.
Yes, exactly.
And then we do a little bit of mind work.
Exactly.
I would definitely
Ooh, that
be
part
like,
was cold.
Yeah.
yeah.
I know that routine a little bit, actually.
Yes, I'm sure you do. I thought you were going to ask who we would choose to play certain roles.
Yeah, I don't want to choose.
And the only person that I had in mind for Isis is Ryan Destiny.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. I hadn't even thought of that though because I don't want anybody to do it.
Yeah, I want them to let it go.
Yeah,
but that's unless it's going to be like, unless it's truly, because I feel like all of the Bring It On Agains and all of that shit was like, it was like them like copy pasting. But if they take the original Bring It On and create like a derivative of that,
like remake the exact thing, you're saying?
No, like they really branch it out where it's like, okay, now they're adults and they have kids, like something like that.
Right, like Ryan Destiny would be Isis' daughter.
Yeah, something like that.
And then it turns out,
because I didn't like that
Torrance and her daughter are rivals.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't think they used the same production company when they made the other movies because the budget was lower.
I mean, those were all TV movies. Yeah. Those were all straight to TV, straight to Blockbuster, whatever. That was the only movie. Yeah. Which, by the way, I went to go see Bring It On right after a game in my cheerleading uniform. I remember my mama took me and my best friend in our cheerleading uniforms.
That is so cute.
We were so excited.
You have the best. I went to go see that movie memories.
Yeah. We were so excited.
I love that.
We
gotta check in, huh?
Yeah, let's check.
Check in, chicken.
Physically.
Am I hungry? Sorry.
Physically, I have a little ache in my lower back. I don't know what's going on with that. Nothing
because
crazy.
My back is aching.
It's too tight.
I think
hips shaking.
I think Cassidy showed me that cheer
Not
the
your
other
booty?
day.
Oh, they say hips because
they say back is aching, skirt is too tight, hips is shaking.
Yeah, she showed me that tear. She's doing great. I was happy to see like the execution.
She loves it.
So excited.
Emotionally, a little overwhelmed.
Okay.
Gotta break that down.
Okay. She's so worried.
My attention is on festivities for later.
Woo!
Have some friends over and just have a good time. Spiritually, a little tested. Well,
Not. You get one.
Who's next?
I'll go next. Physically, I feel. Physically, I feel very loose and limber. Emotionally, I don't know why. I've been skipping workouts and stretches, so I don't know. Emotionally, I'm feeling joy. My attention is currently on. My attention is currently on my hair. Like, I gotta figure out. I just gotta keep my hair done.
It looks figured out
today.
Yeah,
I have like a whole next weekend. I'm going out of town, and it's like.
Oh, you are going.
I am going.
Okay. Got it.
Spiritually, I'm feeling very much in alignment still.
Okay. So physically, I am a little sore. My leg is a little sore. I got a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, and I still feel it. It hasn't gone away. Every time I get up and move, especially if I sit down for a prolonged amount of time, when I get up, like I'm limping every time.
Yeah.
Emotionally right now, I feel peaceful. And my attention is on trying to harness that emotion and find a way to make it stay with me even when I am out of a quote-unquote peaceful place. And spiritually, I feel tested as well.
All right, got it.
Word. Word.
Heard you.
I'm here for you both.
So I saw these things on Facebook that was called Ick List. And it was all these women that were like, hold up, like I gotta add some more shit to my Ick List because these niggas tripping or whatever. Like it was just a whole bunch of stuff like that. And so I started looking at the list, and they were basically these long lists of things that turn women off about men.
Make you go
or
ick.
their potential partners. Yeah, that they really don't like. And they were, some of them were, men were very like offended by some of the things women were saying, because some women were saying stuff like, oh, like a nigga with mommy issues or something. And then like the men and like dudes were commenting like, so it's my fault that she wasn't there for me. Like,
oh, damn, that's personal.
Like men were pissed like, so you're holding it against me that I have mommy issues. Like, cool. But I thought it would be fun for us to do it as well.
Good.
And
you want to just go back and forth?
Yeah, please do that.
Talk about.
Did you do one too?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go first. Okay, so I'll go first.
Sorry.
So my first one is a cat lover.
That hurts my heart.
But you ain't a nigga, so it's okay.
I know.
But I don't like cats at all. So a man that like comes into my space and he's like, oh my, I just love cats. Like,
what if he loves cats but he doesn't have a cat? What if he's a cat lover that's like allergic to cats but he just loves cats?
I think that would still send my antennas up in some type of way. I think a part of me would be like, you love cats?
What if they like Cats the musical?
That's fine.
Okay,
we would get along. We would get along great. I would actually love that.
Okay, good.
About him. But no, the actual animal, the cat.
Hurts.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry, Tati.
I don't trust cats.
Yeah.
I don't trust them. I don't like them. They're unstable.
They do whatever they want.
My first one is any form of general disdain towards women / generalizing. Both of those things.
Okay,
in any
break that down.
So like, if you just don't like women, and you may not say that, you may not be like, I don't like bitches, because who says that, you know?
Yeah.
But it be coming out, and we all know what it looks like, what it sounds like. You don't like bitches, you hate your mama.
Oh, there go the mommy issues.
But I got mommy issues too, so it's not even like that for me. But it's just like, you know, we talk about this a lot. That bitch stood me up at the 7th grade fucking winter formal, and now it's fuck bitches for life.
7th grade, bro.
Like them niggas exist.
That's wild.
And then it's also like we have to pick, not to get on this because y'all know how I do. I'm not trying to be long-winded about it, but like we attract what our brain tells us is the thing. So if you say in 7th grade that bitches ain't shit, your track record is gonna be a bunch of ain't shit ass bitches, and either they're not ain't shit, and you just see a thing and be like, that's why bitches ain't shit. Like you're just looking for it to prove that you're right.
Yeah.
But so any sort of, and generalizing. So if I'm talking to a nigga, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning of a courtship, the whole point is that we're getting to know each other as individuals. So if you're coming into it like, you know how you women be, get the fuck.
Like, what does that even mean?
What are you fucking talking about?
Yeah,
no, I don't know how you women be. You tell me, Mr. Panties. You tell me.
Right.
How us women be.
I know my experience with a nigga that I felt like I started looking at him like, you just don't like women.
You hate women.
It was more so like he didn't cut women any slack in a sense. Like anything that they did, it was always like it had some negative, or like, you know, he assumed the worst in every scenario. And it would just be like, why do you think, like, aren't these like your friends, or aren't these people that like you care? Like, why are you always assuming the worst? And then I was like, oh, you don't like women.
You don't like bitches.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know,
It's not.
but like, it's okay to just like live a bitchless life. Then, like, stop trying to have bitches, and you don't like bitches. Like, just don't like bitches. Go get a cat.
The next worst thing. No, but so my next one is a man who has opinions that are not.
Oh my God, damn it, Tati.
Not just opinions. Just opinions, period.
I was about to say, she said, don't speak.
No, a man that has opinions that are not logical or based in reality.
Ooh.
That
Let's
drives me up a wall. That's probably my biggest pet peeve in the world is listening to people talk, and that's not even just men, that's people, period. But listening to people talk and be so passionate or be dead ass, like, no, this is the way it is. And you're listening and you're like, you have no real logic to back this up. Like, you made that up in your reality, and then you're spewing it to other people like fact, like proof, you know, and I can't deal. I shut down completely when I'm around people like that. Like, it'll make me not talk.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just be
no
like,
use at that point.
I'm like, you got it.
Yeah.
Like, you got it. If you come up to me and you tell me,
I'm glad that you're like that, because I'm not like that. I be well, maybe I'm more likely to be like that now that I don't drink, because a drunk breed, I'm arguing you down and calling you fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, I love a good debate where I feel like both parties kind of have like good points or like good sense. Like, I'll go back and forth all day.
Yeah.
But if the argument is something and I'm hearing you and I'm like, oh,
this doesn't make any sense.
You just don't make sense. Yeah. I'm gonna say you won. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna just leave it at that, because where are we going from here? We're already not starting at a logical point. Like, we're already not starting somewhere where it makes sense. So I know it's not going to go anywhere that makes sense. Right. So
that's very smart of you. Protect your peace, queen. Yeah. My second one is pessimism. I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it. If I talk to you, because here's the thing, right? I understand we all get in a slump, but there's always a certain way that people describe a negative space that they're in that lets me know, like, this is a true negative space. This is not like your ideology. Like, you're not out here like looking for bad things to happen so that you can continue to prove that bad things happen to you. That's different. If I talk to you 3 times and every fucking time is just like, or if you're like an of course ass nigga, like, of course that'll happen to me. I mean, knowing me, it's just like, I cannot. That's and you can't find the bright side in nothing. And pessimism also is like, I've noticed pessimistic people don't have confidence.
That's exactly what it is.
I don't want to be on this like as a man type shit, but like as a man, like as a grown ass man, like if you're pessimistic, that makes me feel like you're not confident in your ability to make shit happen. If you're just like, throw my hands up, shit ain't gonna work out, it never does. That means that you don't fix shit. You don't go try to make things happen. So it's just like,
right.
You know. And I'm Bree the Builder. I'm gonna make some shit out of nothing. So I don't like that. Word.
My next one is a dirty car. That really turns me off. In general, that'd be one of mine too. In general, clean spaces are the biggest turn on to me. Word. And it's like if I like somebody or I'm starting to like somebody, and then the first time I get in their car or the first time I go in their house and it's clean, it's like, oh, we locked in. This is it. Like that was the final thing. So to be liking somebody and step foot in that space and it's dirty,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's like
it's a tough
one. Like, you were doing so well. Yeah. Like, so yeah, I can't fuck with a dirty car. I just want you to care. I want you to care. Yeah. Care about your spaces. Like, care about yourself, because I feel like if you care about yourself a lot and like your presence and how you feel, you're not going to want to step into a disaster every day, because how are you clean and the car's dirty? You know? So.
I feel you. My third one is not minding your own business just as a default. Like, that should be your base. And sometimes we fluctuate, you know, especially in this day and age, the internet, and we having conversations like, oh, did you see that thing, blah, 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 blah. But that's like, we do some of this, like we fluctuate, but then our base is always, I'm minding my business. Yeah. What belongs to me, what pays me, what affects me in a real tangible way. Those are the things that I put my focus on. And if you don't do that, and it's real noticeable, I got to get you right out of here. I'm sorry.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
My next one is to constantly smell or taste like smoke. Ugh. That is the worst. And that's no shade to smokers, because it can be done. So many people I have been around people that smoke. I have dated people that smoked, and you do not have to smell like smoke all the time. You don't have to taste like smoke all the time. Your car in your home does not have to smell like smoke because you smoke. It goes back to the same thing I said about the dirty car thing. It goes back to how you care about yourself and how you want to present yourself and how you feel. You should not just get to a space in your life where you just like, I mean, shit, I smoke every day, so of course I smell like smoke. Or of course I, taste like smoke.
Unless that's just, well, not unless. It's still not going to work for me. But, like, I prefer to hear that sort of logic from people who like to smell like smoke. Like, someone who's like, I like that smell, so I don't give a fuck what y'all say.
Right.
That makes a little bit more sense to me than just niggas being like, it's inevitable. Like, well, I'm going to smell like smoke. And it's like, no, if you didn't want to smell like smoke, you could easily just not.
Yeah,
but you do.
it's not hard. Just the same way you, like, clean your house. Like, when you have animals and your house doesn't smell like animal. Like, your house doesn't have to smell like a dog because you have a dog. Like, you can just clean it.
That is the worst thing in the world.
Oh, yeah, walking into a house that smells like dog.
I need to turn directly around. I cannot take it.
I've walked out of a place because of that one time. I walked in with my friend, like, and then was like, oh, I was like, I left something in your car. Turned around, went back to the car. Text her when I got to the car and was like, I'm not coming back in. I was like, I'll be in the car. Because I was like,
no.
I'm not going in there.
No, sorry. 4? No. Yes, 4 is a lack of interest in my entirety. And it took me a long time to get to this space where...
Lack of interest in your entirety.
In my entirety. If you are nonchalant, if I say a thing and you're not curious... Like if we're in the courting process and you never asked me about, and we never talked about me having a podcast, and you text me 2 hours from now and I say, oh, I'm leaving my podcast. If you like, oh, that's what's up.
And then like, oh, so what you doing later?
Right.
Oh, you don't care.
No, I don't like that. You gotta be like, podcast? Oh, what's up with that? Oh, like I'm not tolerating it anymore. I spent a long time justifying it and being like, you know, oh, Brianna, you're fishing for interest. And it's
why not?
Why fucking? Yeah. And it's like, also, once I got to a certain space in myself, too, I am not shy at all about talking about, with myself and others, how I feel about me. I'm very fucking interesting. I'm very funny. I'm very attractive. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I know those things, why would I sit and be in a space where those things aren't on blast? I want to do that for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I be in a space with somebody that's continuously like dimming those things about me by not giving them any attention at all?
Yeah. And sometimes you don't even notice that's even like a problem, because I know, like you mentioned, like the podcast and stuff, I don't even know if I ever truly put any emphasis on the people I'm dating taking a real interest in being like, wow, there's this thing that comes out every single week that she is talking on, she is taking pictures, she you know that she is on this platform every week, and I never paid it really any real mind about people I'm dating actually listening to it or telling me stuff that I thought or anything. And it's like, now hearing somebody, it's like, I'm like, wow, like, how was niggas gave no fucks? Like, it makes you be like, what type of people were you
going on?
Yeah, like, because I'm like, people didn't care at all. Like, nobody was ever just like, oh my God, like, it's Wednesday again. Back when we came out on Wednesdays. Or like, you know, oh my God, it's Monday. Like, it was never a thing.
No.
It was just like, oh, true. Let me know when you're done with that.
Yep. I'll hit you later.
That was it. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck. Yeah, that actually just bothered me too. I'm like, you don't give a fuck.
None at all.
Let me know when you done.
Never again, guys.
Basically.
Never again, Lord.
Please. If they kept up with the schedule.
Right.
I could have been missing for the whole day, for the whole morning or something, and then been like, hit them up later, like, yeah, just finished with the podcast. Oh, yeah, you do that today, huh? You're like,
where's the effort here? Where's the
none.
effort here?
Ain't none. I'm not dealing with it.
Oh, man.
Period.
Yeah.
You talk about, I love your little laughs.
That was
my
cute.
Little laughs.
They are little laughs.
The immediate one following that was cute.
That's a funny thing to say.
My next one is not being good at defending my honor.
Oh, and that's a deep one.
Because
that's a good one.
As much as, like, you know, here on this show, we try not to generalize men or make it seem like there's just a certain type, or you gotta be just tough as fucking nails and hard as rocks, like to be a man or something.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I do need to constantly feel protected.
Absolutely.
I need to feel protected, and I need to know that if anybody look at me sideways, talk to me sideways, anything, my partner that's standing next to me is never standing for that shit. He's never going. And if I sense that you're not that type of person that would protect me or defend me, and mind you, I'm not even the type of girl that needs much of that. Like in reality, it's not like I be in shit where I'm like, baby, I need you to get up here. So like, I need you to handle this or whatever. But I need to know that would be the case, because vice versa. Wow, I'm not the bitch that's about to be fighting. I'm not about to be out here fighting or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, if I was standing next to my nigga and somebody says something, a woman says something wild or crazy disrespectful, my first reaction would be to like step up and be like, hold up.
Excuse me.
You know, so I need to feel that both ways.
This is gonna be such a great just source of information for when it's time to like date and stuff.
I know, right? It's really I was just talking about that off air about how good it is to kind of like this is like a funny concept, like an Ick List, but it's really good to know up front like what you're not gonna deal with. And funny that you say that. It was somebody years ago who was trying to date me, and I ended up, you know, letting them know that I wasn't interested in dating them, but we started a working relationship together. And we had an event, and we drove together. He drove me in his car, and it was someplace, you know, in the city or whatever. And we ended up having to park like adjacent to an alley, and it was dark.
Right.
Do you know this nigga got out of the fucking car and was like walking like he was like booking it ahead of me, and I was like, this nigga was trying to be my boyfriend.
You don't give a
and we're in a dark fucking alley, and you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's been in situations in alleys.
He's been in situations in alleys. Even more reason for you to be like, come on.
Right.
Exactly. We got to get out of here. Shit goes down in alleys.
Exactly. That nigga was like,
not for him to just be out of there like, I don't know what she doing.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah, he some people got to learn the hard way.
I'm actually going to make this my fifth thing. So niggas who don't treat women with respect as like a blanket thing. Like chivalry is one thing, but like a lot of the things that niggas think is chivalry is just basic decency and respect. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like holding doors open, or just like having courtesy for a lady being in a room. Right. Like niggas, I love, and this is such a stupid thing to love, because it's like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like being at a bar with a bunch of drunk ass people, and if I'm standing, we're all trying to get a drink, and we're all crowded around the bar. When a nigga like glances back and sees that there's like a short bitch behind him, when come on.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just like little basic decency for like, I'm a big grown fucking man, and here's this woman, and like, let me just make sure that she doesn't get fucking trampled, whatever. Like, you know, like you don't have to know me or be fucking me. Like, if you don't have that mindset,
how thoughtful.
Just about women in general, really people, but like, you know, women especially. Like, just if you have a mindset of like, that's how you treat the bitches that you fuck with, or the bitches that are your girlfriends or your sisters or your mom, and no other woman. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, my friend, like on that same type of topic, one of my best friends, she had just went on a date. It was only been last weekend with a guy. This was first date. And she said that, like, she gets to the bar because he's already at the bar. So he's sitting down, but the bar is crowded as hell, right? So there was no seat when she walked up. He was just sitting. He stayed in his seat and talked to her back and forth. Meanwhile, people bumping into her as they walking past, and she's just dodging.
Just
hello, just playing football, dodging tackles, and dude's just in the chair. And then at some point had the nerves to be like, "You look uncomfortable." And then they like got up and moved.
Acknowledged it.
I would have
really acknowledged it.
And so yes, that definitely falls into the men that don't respect women and the not defending my honor, because that's also a form of protection.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
Like, you just leaving me out here to get my ass beat. Like people walking past me.
Right.
Gross.
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder.
The worst. My next one is someone that's like always making jokes and they're not funny. Ooh. That is the worst.
Give me an
Let me
exam.
tell you, a nigga that thinks he's funny and that's not funny is the most uncomfortable,
you're constantly laughing at
weird
yourself and no one else
situation to be in. I hate it.
It's so awkward.
Yeah, it's so awkward. It's so awkward, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying to be next to somebody that thinks they're so fun and you don't think that.
Yeah.
Because you just be looking like, that's when like the part of me that I try not to be, like the judgmental, the name calling side of Tati. That's when all that is in my head. Like, I'm like, this nigga weak as hell.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I'm texting my friends like, look at this goofball ass nigga.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
But that's when that comes out, because I'm just like, I know you see nobody's
like,
laughing.
Yeah, it's like, where is your sense of pride? That's where. No.
I mean, but in that sense, I guess I can appreciate
You not giving
the
a fuck.
comfortability in themselves, that they're just like,
but it's just not for me.
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having a great time, so I don't care what she doing.
And that's why it's better to. That's why the way that I describe love as like acceptance and offering freedom is, that's why that is the way that it is, because I could just leave you to it.
Right.
I accept you exactly how you are. I'm not going to try to change you. I'm not going to call you a lame to your face and try to make you feel like, oh, I got to be different. You do that. I'm just going to
I'll leave you to it.
I'll leave you. Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Okay, my number 6 is a yucky mouth.
A yucky mouth?
A yucky mouth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I look at your teeth, if I can tell by looking at your teeth that you don't floss.
Oh.
If I can look at your teeth and tell that you do not floss.
Right.
Ugh.
And many other things. There's a lot of stuff that can be going on with the mouth that's just not. Because I mean mouth, not just teeth. I mean the entire
space.
mouth.
Yep. It's a huge thing.
Yeah, I cannot. I know 19-year-old and even older, Bree has probably put her tongue in some mouths. I know I have, but we're not doing that in our right minds. We're not doing that. Nope.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
My next one is an extremist, and that's an extremist in any form about anything. Yes. I don't want it.
I think you do. Tell me why you don't.
No, the flashbacks that just came to me.
Because it's problematic in every way. Like, I feel like if you are an extremist, even if it's something that I kind of, in a blanket way, agree with you about, if you are extreme about it, like you're no nonsense, this is the way it has to be, you know, anything that's outside of this, I don't fuck with, or I don't like it, or it's unacceptable. Like, it's too much. It's exhausting. First of all, it's exhausting. It's one thing to have a friendship with an extremist, but I feel like it's a whole nother thing to be trying to date somebody that's an extremist.
Especially because
it's exhausting. You'll never be, if I'm not that same way, I'm never going to be able to live up to what you're trying to get me to achieve. It's never going to happen because we don't feel the same way, and you don't see gray area. You're only black and white, and I live in a gray area.
Is gray.
Yes, I live in a gray area, so it's never going to work. Wow. And then also, of course, obviously I couldn't date an extremist that had opposite views of me, but one that had the same views as me and he was extreme about it, I honestly think that it would result in turning me off of something that I once liked. Oh, wow. Like, if somebody was just an extremist about something really good, like being kind to people. Like, if he was just like, no, you better open every fucking door, do every this, like, I could see myself getting to a point like, man, fuck that lady. Like, I'm not open the door for you. Know, like, I'm gonna start. Now I'm resenting I'm gonna start rebelling, and it's gonna start changing me just because I want to be opposite of you, or just because I want to make it clear that you can't control me, or you can't make me into a certain thing. I'm just gonna start doing the opposite. And then I'll be at home like, you really wanted to open that door for her. Yeah. Like, you really wanted to hold the door, but you didn't. So, extremists are no.
That's great.
My 7th thing is skinny dicks. Let me explain, though. This is just coming from a space of, you know, off first glance, it's not going to be for me. It's not going to, you know, off first glance. I'm not going to be like, you know, whatever the opposite of ick is, I'm not going to be that about a skinny dick. Have I had some decent skinny? Sure.
Right.
You know, who among us has not? But
well, probably somebody has not. But There's one person in the room that probably has not done that at all.
I just mean though, like just off of the glance, just off of, like as a concept, as an idea, this probably doesn't belong on the Ick List to be.
Are you sure? I think you
Because
should stand by it.
It's not like
you should stand by that.
Yeah, it is just a little like, oh, that's, especially like if I'm talking to a nigga and we're not at that point, and then we get to that point, and then that's, I unwrap the present, and it's
so barely any girth.
Gonna be, it's not.
All I can see is a pencil.
That's what I'm right. Of course.
This whole time, as soon as she said skinny dicks, I'm just seeing like a pencil, like going into like a pond, like or something. That's all I'm thinking.
But you don't like
the
chubs either. What is it called?
Because that's little. That's little in fat, but that's like that.
I will fucking throw up.
See, that's on the list.
That's my actual ick.
Yeah, the chodes.
Cause like
she's about to throw up.
No, for real. I'm so sorry. This is disgustingly this is terrible of me. I apologize. I'm not trying to body shame anyone.
Yeah.
Let's just end it there.
No, that's right.
I can't take
Talk
it.
about woo. I know that's right, girl.
So look, number 7 is extremist for me too. Extreme on either end. If it's extremely short and fat, gross. If it's extremely like long and skinny,
long and thin,
gross.
No, thank you.
Ick. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Okay, continue.
So, my next one, I'm trying to figure out how to say it in the way that I am ick about. Okay. Because my next one is conceited. But obviously, there's a level of cockiness that is needed and that is attractive. So,
what about that's not confidence?
I mean, yeah, that's confidence.
But conceitedness is different than confidence.
Right. So, yeah. So, conceited. So, conceitedness is definitely on my ick list. I can't deal with anybody that thinks, I don't know how to say it. It's such a hard way to
I think the best way to put it is that your air should be confident and your words should be humble. If you are saying... I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. And it's unrelated. You know what I'm saying? It's unrelated. Like you had just said to me, like, oh, your skin. I was going to say your skin is pretty. Like, you're just a pretty girl. And I said, I think so too. This is related. This is not me just walking into the room and just being like, aren't I pretty, guys? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is related.
Or like, conceited it also brings like a sense of entitlement to certain things, or just feeling like when you walk into rooms, like you expect people to like flock to you or want to do for you, or for women, like when you think of like a man, like, or women do that too, like with men, like you just expect the opposite sex to just be so willing and down for whatever you're talking about, or you sitting at home and then whenever you're ready to go out, you like, that bitch gonna be ready to go.
Is anybody watching Sweet Life?
Yes, I am. I'm only on.
Is his name Marcus, the dark skinned young man? That's who she's describing.
Gotcha.
Like you're walking into a space and you're just thinking like, you can have any bitch you want, and those bitches are every bitch is just gonna like fall in line.
Yeah, and they're disposable. Yeah, and like
very much.
Or even like men that feel like with their women, and they kind of have like that sense of like, yeah, I may be cheating or I may be dogging her, but like where's she gonna go?
Look at me.
Like I'm a good looking nigga. I got a job. I pay bills. What the fuck? Like she gonna find better? Good luck. Like that type of nigga. That feels like them being attractive and having money means that they can fall short in any other area. Yep. Means that they don't have to be compassionate. They don't have to have a good personality.
Well, really,
they don't have to be caring.
To be conceited under those circumstances. In all actuality.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of yours. My next one is being mean, like a mean person. Like, especially to people to people in service. If I go to a restaurant with you or a hotel, and the wait staff or like the concierge or like housekeeping, like any of those types of people, you're just not automatically kind to, not because they are that, but because they're fucking human beings. And you're just like, if you have any like lowering of your just general how I treat people to certain people, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit at all. And just if you mean it all, like, I also feel like I'm also trying to hold people to the same standard that I hold myself, and I don't like it when I get mean. Like, I'm very disappointed in myself when I get mean or when I get like snappy or nasty or whatever. So like, if you are someone who like has very little control over that, where it's like, oh, you know, somebody could take you to a place where now you just like being a fucking bitch, like you just being mean to them or being mean to everybody else because of it. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, agreed.
What was that, 8?
Yeah, because my number 9 is being a Lakers fan. Yeah, I think that is not. I'm a diehard Celtics fan, guys.
Correct.
And typically, I've like most Lakers fans that like I know. Not, of course, there's no like you're not bad people, but as far as like me dating you, typically it's like we don't align. Like we wouldn't. It'll end up being like this may be a superficial thing like on this level, but then as I'll get to know people later, I'll be like like that was a sign though. That was the first sign. That was the first indication that we were not the same people. Yeah. Like when I found out they were a Lakers fan.
And they got like history of being like rivals, right? Like it's
they are the rivals.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, well that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So
that makes more sense now.
Yeah, and of course there's exceptions to every rule.
Of course.
But in a general sense, I would like to not date a Lakers fan.
Perfect.
All right. My number 9 is probably should have been higher on the list, but just general poor hygiene. I know I brought up the mouth thing for me is like a very specific. That's in its own fucking category, but like just general upkeep of your body. You know, open your ass cheeks in that shower, boys.
You have to.
You got to.
Please, y'all.
You have to.
Please. No one has to know. It's so private. Like,
talk about no one has to know.
No one has to see you do it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, just make sure you can just get it done.
Your homophobia is so internalized. Like, you
can't do it when you're alone by yourself.
It's weird, y'all. Like, it's weird. Like, are y'all okay?
Yeah.
Like, all you have to do is wash your ass, you know? And it's like, also, never mind.
Not just the surface.
I told y'all I used to, this is disgusting, I know. But when I was, deeply in love when I was 19, I had a boyfriend with a really, really, really deep belly button, and I would put my finger in it to show him
that it was dirty.
All crevice, like the smell that we associate with like ass, like it smelled like ass. That's just a crevice smell. So if I did like this with my arm for like a week and just like this would smell like ass too. So you have to wash inside your fucking belly button. Like the fact that like grown men don't know these things.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I can't take it.
And I won't take it.
And we won't. We won't put up with that. Yeah. My last one is niggas that talk like Chief Keef.
Oh. That's fantastic.
That is a whole... I think it's crazy that I think there are people in parts of the world that think that is how people in Chicago sound. Because they have a whole sound. When that drill music... wave like came in Chicago, I don't know niggas that talk like that. Like they have their own language. They have their own language, their own accent, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I don't know what they're saying. I can't understand it. And I could never imagine myself like having a home.
Sitting across from a nigga.
Yeah, like having a home with somebody and that's the way they talk. Yeah. Or that's the way they like greet me. And I'm constantly like, what did you say? Use say that
your words.
Say the whole word.
Yeah.
It's like 3 more syllables in that word, babe. Say it again.
Not babe.
Yeah, I can't. I cannot.
I mean, I could, but we'll see.
Oh, she down for
Talk about we'll see.
Hopefully I don't have to, but I mean, that's not what I meant. Anyway, my last thing is any sort of sexual restrictiveness. Mm-hmm. If I sense that in the first part of us courting, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Because I also don't like, that kind of also falls in line with like me not liking to be generalized and stuff. If you're not coming into a space with me open and just open to see what you're inspired by, what you're inspired to do as a result of just being close to me, I don't like that. If you're coming into it already, like, I mean, of course we all have our hard limits, right? Like I'm going to go into it knowing like, yeah, I know from history that I don't like this thing, but I'm not even going to approach my hard limits like it's an absolute, I mean,
right.
So there are some hard limits and there are some super hard limits. Like, obviously, like, you know.
Soft and hard limits.
Yeah. Like, there are some harder than hard limits, you know, like fecal matter. Like, we're not going to do any scat play. That's just, don't even talk to me about that, you know. Right. But I'm not, but the things that, like, I'm not very interested in anal stuff, but I'm not going to go into it, like, just to let you know, don't you try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you never know. You never know what type of finesse a nigga has, how he makes you feel. Like, I'm down to just see how this goes. And if we try it and it doesn't work, then I'll just be like, oh, yeah, like I thought, don't do that no more.
That's giving you confirmation.
You know what I'm saying? But like, if you coming into it just like, yeah, before we get into it, like, I heard your little podcast. I hear you a freak.
I heard your little podcast.
Do you know how many men say that to me about you all the time?
Say that she's a freak?
Yeah, like, what's up with Bree? I know she nasty.
And they can't fucking handle it.
I don't like.
And none be the same ones.
But they talk like
they
that.
Can't handle
Whenever
it.
we mimic niggas, we act like we can't get the words out.
That's how they
like,
talk.
Like we choke up our throat. We be like, yo, shorty.
That's
like,
how they
shorty,
talk.
I'm about to pull up on you.
But those be the same niggas that can't handle it. They
That's
can't
the Chief
hang.
Keef stuff.
What is wrong with us?
They can't hang. You know what I'm saying?
No,
and it's just like, it's one thing to try it out and find out that you can't hang, but like you coming into it like, all right, you know what you be on, shorty. I ain't trying to like. Shut the fuck up. First of all, no, you don't.
You don't know shit about
First of all,
me.
I'm a pillow princess. All this talking I be doing.
I love Pillow Princess.
And am. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you making these twice, and it's gonna be the first time and your next birthday. But other than that, like, baby, I'm laying on my stomach. But anyway, that's all 10.
Yep, that's all my 10.
Well, this was
you
fun.
ended it with a bang,
girl. Perfect way to end it.
Yes.
Well, we would love to hear y'all's Ick List, of course. I know that so I can't get into my Facebook, so if you're only doing it on Facebook, send it to me.
But it might be on Twitter too.
Okay, send it to me. Send it to me. You can find us at Away with Words, the podcast, on Instagram and on TikTok. And you can find me on Instagram at Bree.stories and at Bree_stories on TwitTwat. And you can follow at AyeTati on Instagram and at HeyTati on TwitTwat. And please, y'all know better by now. Make sure you're following at MJMKid and at Moments_Stu because you just should, okay? We love you so much, and we'll see y'all next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.